All day fam was good. No days off. We here again, back again for another day. Thank you all so much for joining me. And I'm Dante. I've been doing this platform for about a couple years now, still building it up. So we're just gonna get straight right to it. Let's see, man. I want to talk about getting it all day back into this daily rhythm. So this is going to be a quick live. I want to go through this list of 5 potential breakout offenses and give my immediate reaction and spend some extra time on y'all know the Justin Herbert and the Chargers. So Jags, Chargers, Broncos, they're among the 5 offenses positioned to break out in 2026. A lot of people are talking about them. A lot of there's a lot of articles out, a lot of analysts, and just the media in general has their eyes set for these teams to have a really breakout season. A lot of talk is talking about just a lot of talk is on Justin Herbert and the Chargers offense really being probably the best offense in the league, probably because Justin Herbert, Mike McDaniel, you can't get any better than that. The Patriots' offensive breakout last season was a very surprising went for a very surprising playoff run. I don't think not too many people were on New England really going deep into the playoffs last year. And then you add and now adding Josh McDaniels as a play caller, an improved offensive line, and Drake May in his second year were keys to the Patriots is going from averaging 17 points per game in 2024 to 28.8 points last year in 2025. And so now you got the Bears, Colts, and Seahawks were also among offenses that broke out last season. So I look at the top 5 offenses. We can talk about that with the talent and the coaching to become dangerous in 2026 and the questions that might prevent their ceilings from being reached. Jacksonville Jaguars. So the Jaguars, you can look at them and say that they did break out in the second half of the campaign last year, but they have a chance to make another significant accession this season. So coach Liam Coen has quickly put himself in the top tier of NFL play callers. Coen propelled the Buccaneers offense into one of the most explosive units in the league and then came to Jacksonville, where Trevor Lawrence had the best season of his career in Coen's offense. Trevor Lawrence did surprise me last year. He did. If you all watch this channel, watch this platform, you all know I have been very critical. Trevor Lawrence is one of the quarterbacks that I am very critical of because I just don't think he's that good of a quarterback. I still don't think he's all that great, but I think he has gotten better. He's shown some gains where he's shown some games where he can be an elite quarterback. So hopefully he keeps improving because I still need to see more from Trevor Lawrence. But as of right now, as long as he keeps getting better, that's all I'm going to say about that. So there were some growing pains early in the season. The Jaguars, they couldn't stop making procedural errors and dropping passes. It was clear they were having a tough time learning the offense as Coen didn't take it slow installing his system. His drinking from a water hose approach paid off later in the season when the unit grew more comfortable and started to click. And also, you got to take in consideration their wide receiver, Brian Thomas Jr., he had a fallback year last year. He didn't play all that well last year, especially compared to his rookie year. But let's see if he can bounce back. And Travis Hunter, let's see if they can get him more involved into the offense as well. I think that they're going to feature Travis Hunter more into the defense, though, if I'm not too mistaken. So the Jaguars, they averaged 20.86 points per game before the Week 8 bye. They scored 32.8 points after ranking second in the league behind only the Rams in that span. Through the process, Coen discovered how to best deploy receiver Brian Thomas Jr., Jacoby Myers, and then became a dependable target for Lawrence over the middle, and Parker Washington emerged as a potential star slot receiver. Brenton Strange is one of the league's most underrated tight ends and will be the head of the snake in the Jaguars' multiple tight end sets, complemented by second-round pick Nate Borkercher. So, tight ends. That's something that is a position that more than likely is going to explode and be more important in the near future. I mean, in the NFL very, very soon, because tight ends, a lot of teams are starting to use two-form tight end sets, or starting to look more deeply into tight ends and evaluate tight ends and use them more into their play calling, because tight ends are crucial and they're essential. They are a quarterback's best friend. They've always have been. They kind of fell off they kind of fell off over the past few years or in the NFL, but now they are making a reign back, and especially for somebody like my boy Justin Herbert, he loves using tight ends. He loves tight ends. So if your team is going to be using tight ends like that, that is going to be crucial for your quarterback or for your offense. Lawrence should be leading a much cleaner operation, and things should continue to slow down for him in his second year in Coen's offense. The next stop for the offense is to improve the running game. Yeah, because they do need a reliable running back. Even if we look at the running game split after the week 8 bye, they ranked 30th in average yards per before contact, 25th in rushing success rate, and 28th in the explosive rush rate. Many of their best runs were outside runs or option runs involving Lawrence. Increasing Baishu Tutin's carries will help with explosiveness, but the offensive line must be better. A one-dimensional offense can swing the pendulum in the other direction for Lawrence, highlighting his tendency to put the ball in harm's way. And then you got Denver Broncos. A lot of people think the Denver Broncos offense might be a little bit better next year because a lot of people think the Denver Broncos offense is going to be a little bit better next year. I was doing my research and I saw that they was on people's list. You can't take away what that offense is going to do, because that offense, you got Sean Payton. And then they got a lot of speed on that offense. So and then you got Bo Nix. He's an okay quarterback. I don't really think he's all that great. I think their offense is going to be limited by Bo Nix, but Bo Nix is the type of quarterback that Sean Payton likes to have. So if Bo Nix can blossom in the coaching style of what Sean Payton wants, that offense is going to be great. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean Bo Nix is great, but it does mean that Bo Nix is great for that type of system. So sometimes we'll get we confuse a quarterback's greatness based on how great he looks in the system. Now, I know a lot of people, a lot of analysts, a lot of the media, they like to switch things up. They like to change up things every now and then about how great a quarterback is. I'm not going to say a quarterback is great just because he looks great in a system or looks great in the offense that is made for him. Now, I will say he's good because at the end of the day, if you're producing, if you're playing well, if you are prevailing in that offense, because a coach's job is to put the player in the best position to look good, to perform, to produce. But that doesn't mean that player is great. Now, when we talk about a player is great, is when they are producing regardless. So when you talk about somebody like Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, stops there for me. Those four, you could put them in Matthew Stafford. You could put them in any offense on any team, and they're going to produce. They may not always win. They may not always win rings, but they're going to look good in the offense. They're not going to be the weaker link of that team. Now, with that being said, you got the media who likes to change things up and who likes to, how can I put it? Who likes to be manipulative based on these quarterbacks, because I think they like to pick and choose who they want to ride with, who they want to push out there, their favorite player, their favorite QB. They like to automatically tack wins in success in rings on those quarterbacks. And that's not how it is. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's a lie. I don't care what players are saying. This is dumb. You cannot just automatically just say that this quarterback is great because they got rings. This quarterback is great because they have wins. I don't care. I know how hard it is to win a Super Bowl. I know how hard it is to win in the league. That's why you can't just put it all to one player. So it's really like a contradictory when you hear these former players in the media, when they say this. Now, not all former players say this, but I think the ones that are saying it are just being completely biased, and they're just being lousy in their analysis when it comes to grading quarterbacks. And it's not fair because you got quarterbacks who may not be winning, but they are actually producing. If you actually look at the game with a critical eye and look at it like a scientist and literally dissect the games, and it's quite obvious that the quarterback is not the reason why this team is losing. It's quite obvious the quarterback is not the reason why the offense is not even looking that good. It's like, the quarterback's not missing throws. He's not throwing picks. He's not turning the ball over all the time. He's not the reason why this offense was lost. So I digress. Back to my point is that I will not sit here and say that a quarterback, just because he looks good in the system, that he's great. I will say he's good. I'll say he's looking good. I'll say he's fine and dandy, whatever. But I'm not going to say he's great. And my great is like top 4, maybe top 5. And we seen Justin Herbert, and see that's and then it goes back to my point of Justin Herbert. We seen Justin Herbert do great in any system, in any system that's thrown at him, and under different offenses with different players who are not even like great players. They're not even like top 5 wide receivers, top 10 wide receivers. He's never had a running game ever in his entire career. He's never had a running game, and he's only had a reliable tight end, Hunter Henry, who's left. He's never really had a good center. He's never really had a good offensive line. So he's never had a great play caller till now. So Josh Allen, he had some of those things that Justin Herbert has, and people praise Josh Allen. And Josh Allen was obviously some of the reasons why the Bills lost in the playoffs, but he's never got the criticism. He's never got the blame. Same for Joe Burrow. Same for Lamar Jackson. Well, now you got the media knocking Lamar Jackson now, but they were always riding Lamar Jackson. So it's just not fair. It's not right. And I think Josh Allen is really good. I think Josh Allen is a great player. I do. I think that, and I've been very highly critical of Josh Allen on this platform because I don't like how the media, how they try to make him like he's like the best quarterback in the NFL, and he's not. I will not put Josh Allen over Joe. Well, I will put over Joe Burrow. I will not put Josh Allen over Patrick. There's 2 quarterbacks I want to put him over, maybe 3. I wouldn't put him over Patrick Mahomes. I wouldn't put him over Justin Herbert, and I may not put him over Lamar Jackson. I don't know. I may not. I may not put him over Lamar. I don't know. They're kind of like night and day, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. I personally like Lamar Jackson better than Josh Allen. If I was drafting, I would probably choose Lamar over Josh. But with that being said, doesn't mean that Josh is automatically better than Lamar. But I will say this. I don't like how Josh Allen turns the ball over. I don't. I think he can be very careless with the football sometimes. And that's a player that I don't know that I can trust if you're in the Super Bowl going against a top defense that can shut your game down, that can shut your running game down. Because I said this before. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say Lamar Jackson's better than Josh Allen. Because you could take away Lamar Jackson's running game, but Lamar Jackson can tear you up in the throwing. You could take away Josh Allen's running game, and he starts to fold in his throws. I promise you, every single game I've seen Josh Allen play. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Come fact check me, whatever. Every single time I've seen Josh Allen play, I've always see him mess up, start turning the ball over when the other side of the team, when the opposite side of the team, the defense, opposite side of the ball, when they take away his running game. I seen him start folding. I seen him start making mistakes. Because it's like his running game is a huge part of his game, which is fine. That's perfectly fine. He can walk into the Hall of Fame with that. That's perfectly fine. But we're not going to sit here and say that he's better than quarterbacks who doesn't rely on their legs. That's what we're not going to do. He doesn't rely on their legs to still produce. Patrick Mahomes, he can run, he can throw. You take away his running game, who cares? He's still dangerous. He's going to hurt you. He doesn't need to run. Same for Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert can run. You take away Justin Herbert's running game. You think Justin Herbert is still not going to light your ass up in the passing game? Yes, he is. Especially now that he's got a reliable offensive play caller. It's over with now. It's over with. Josh Allen, no. You take away his running game, you shut Josh Allen down. Lamar Jackson, he's shown, and when he first got into the league, people were thinking that, he's only a running quarterback. But Lamar Jackson's shown that he can light your ass up passing the ball. He can light your ass up passing the ball. So that's my thing with Josh Allen. Watch these games. Go back and watch them. All right, so that's my thing. So the Broncos, that's going to be an interesting team to look for. They're very interesting. I like Sean Payton. I think Sean Payton is doing a wonderful job with the Broncos. Now they have an elite offensive line and a top-tier receiver duo after trading for Jalen Waddle. I think that's going to be great. Now to pair with Cortland Sutton. This is awesome. And their running game took a dip last season after J.K. Dobbins suffered a season-ending injury in Week 10, but they ranked 10th in explosive rush rate, 10% before the injury. They dropped 28th, 4.8% from weeks 11 to 18. Dobbins is back now. In the Broncos, they drafted also Jonah Coleman to back him up as their between the tackles runner. So Jonah Coleman, he's going to be he could end up being that every down back almost, or at least coming down in the third downs and really getting between the tackles, doing all the heavy lifting for J.K. Dobbins, because J.K. Dobbins is kind of injury prone. And then you got last year's second round pick R.J. Harvey, who will be the satellite back, getting the ball on off tackle runs and targets in the passing game. I'm not going to say Jonah Coleman is going to be a every down back, but he's going to be that in between the tackles runner. I just honestly just feel like if you're going to be that between the tackles runner, you could be an every down back because you're the workhorse and everybody else can just feature you. That's just my opinion. And then, so now you adding Waddle should bolster the passing game when Sean Payton has a slot receiver like he likes. He feeds them targets, and Waddle is the most explosive slot receiver Sean Payton has ever had. Payton will be handing off play calling duties to Dick Davis well this season, but it's still his system. Payton's constant changing of personnel groupings can be difficult for defenses, but it can also be hard on his offense when the calls aren't getting on time. So the hope is that a fresh voice like Wells can clean up some of the Broncos' procedural issues. And then you got all of the ingredients for a top 10 offense are there for the Broncos, but it'll depend on quarterback Bo Nix, like I talked about, taking that next step. Nix, so he had some overall poor performances with late game heroics last season. So that's the thing with Bo Nix. It's like, I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback. I don't think he's all that good, but I don't think he's all that bad either. He's average to me. I cannot sit here and say that Bo Nix is a good quarterback if he's had trash games throughout the entire game and then he plays good the last few seconds. I'm not going to sit. No, I'm not going to do it. Just not. I refuse to do it because eventually your luck is going to run out and it's going to catch up with you. So we'll find out. And so let's see. He also shined in big games, including the best game of his career against the Bills in the divisional round before fracturing his ankle on the games, on the final play. But I don't think it was the final play. I can't remember, but it was during that game. It was during the game divisional round with the Bills. So Nix must improve his accuracy to become more consistent. And that's the thing. You gotta be pretty accurate in Sean Payton's offense. He ranked among the worst. So Bo Nix is a very overrated quarterback. I know the media loves to praise him. They love to push him. They love to make it seem like he's this great quarterback. But you're not going to sit here and tell me he's a great quarterback and you're not an accurate thrower. It has to go with it, man. He missed several deep passes. Yes, I talked about this plenty of times before. The first time we played. So, and he failed to throw over 4,000 yards despite leading the league in pass attempts. That's terrible. That's bad. Let me say that again. He failed to throw for over 4,000 yards despite leading the league in pass attempts. He's proven he's capable of a high-level play, but he needs to show that he can do it more often. He needs to be more consistent, and he needs to be better at throwing the ball. Plain and simple. Plain and simple for Bo Nix. So then you got so I saw the Texans. The Texans has a really good defense. Their offense can be pretty good. But CJ Stroud, I know a lot of people are looking to CJ Stroud. They're looking to see that if CJ Stroud can just at least get a little bit better, this offense can be a lot more better than what it was last year. And it can be, and the team as a whole can go really deep into the playoffs. It's not the Super Bowl. And now the offense did have a few big good games against good defenses. I think last year, Nick Caley's first season as Houston's offensive coordinator could hardly be considered a success, but the offense had a few big games against defenses like Jaguars, Chargers, Steelers. So that's something to look forward to. That's something to look into. So the Texans, they could be a pretty good asset. They could be a pretty good offense next year. As a play caller, it's hard to overcome one of the worst offensive lines in the league. So they did have one of the worst offensive lines in the league. So you got to take that into consideration. That struggled to run block and pass protect. The Texans ranked 30th in ESPN's pass block with rate and 32nd in the run block win rate. So general manager Nick Caserio overhauled the offensive line this offseason, adding 3 new potential starters. The Texans signed right tackle Braden Smith and left guard Wyatt Teller. Smith was the best right tackle on the market, but Teller's game has sharply declined. They also drafted Waller Kalen Rutledge in the first round, but he'll move from guard to center, which won't be an easy transition. Left tackle Aranete Ursay had his ups and downs last season as a rookie, but played well enough to continue being developed. How much he improves will this likely be for how much he improved, this will be the key for the offense. So then you got David Montgomery. They got David Montgomery. He averaged 8.4 rushing touchdowns in his 7 NFL seasons. So David Montgomery is a massive upgrade for the Texans running back room. Obviously, in his present slots, Woody Marks into the number 2 third down back role for which he's more suited. So the Texans run game will be much better, obviously, because Dave Montgomery, and should take the load off Stroud's shoulders. Any great running game is going to take the load off a quarterback's shoulders. Nick Collins, he's a headline of the receiver corps, and the Texans, they have some good complementary pieces. Also, Jaden Higgins, he had 525 yards, 6 touchdowns as a rookie. He's 6'4" with 4.47 speed and has a lot of untapped potential. Tank Dell, he could return from a gruesome injury suffered in 2024. Tank Dell, that would be a huge addition for the Texans. So Lawrence, Baker Mayfield, we've seen young quarterbacks struggle in bad offenses and have their careers resurrected. So this could be probably for Stroud as well. But I don't really know if I'm going to say Lawrence's career has been resurrected, but he's gotten better last year. So Stroud, he definitely has struggled for the past 2 seasons. After a very strong rookie campaign, he has gotten worse. And that concerns me. When I saw CJ Stroud's rookie year, I thought he was going to be really good. Well, I thought he was going to be good. But he gave me a lot of doubts. He's been bad, and had one of the worst. He's had one of the worst playoff performances I have ever seen by a quarterback. And he's not even getting knocked for. People are still giving him excuses. That's the crazy thing. I'm trying to figure out, how does Justin Herbert get so much heat? And a quarterback like CJ Stroud doesn't. Because he got one playoff win? One? Come on. And the thing about it is, CJ Stroud is getting worse. He's not playing good. Justin Herbert at least is playing good. Like I said, the media, y'all pick and choose, man. Y'all pick and choose who y'all want to pick to be great. And y'all are all full of crap. You all are. You know you are. You know you are too. I don't have to tell you. You know you're full of crap. So the Texans offense doesn't have to be a top 10 unit for them to be a contenders, because they have arguably the league's best defense. If they could finish in the 12th to 15th range in offense, DVOA, they can be Super Bowl contenders. Yes, they can. And then you got the Chargers. This should finally be the year when we don't have to wonder why Justin Herbert doesn't have the help he needs. Mike McDaniel is a top-tier offensive coordinator who will scheme up more layups for Herbert than he's ever had in his career. His receiving corps, Herbert's receiving corps is full of young, talented receivers like Ladd McConkey, Trey Harris, who's a former first-round pick, Quentin Johnston, and who has emerged as I don't think Trey Harris is a former first-round pick. Oh, Ladd McConkey is. No, Ladd McConkey ain't either. I don't think Trey Harris is a former first-round pick. I don't know what. Yeah, Quentin Johnston. Oh, Quentin Johnston is the former first-round pick and has emerged as a useful player. Some have criticized the Chargers for not adding enough to the offensive line, but getting tackles like Rashawn Slater and Joe back, that gives us a lot of great. That gives us the best tackle duo in the league. And then we signed center Tyler Biadasz, who was a godsend. Center is a vital. We talked about this. Tyler Biadasz is probably the most important addition to this offense in the offseason. I know we got Njoku. I know we got that really great run, that fast running back, Keaton Mitchell from Baltimore. It's the fastest running back in the league. And then I know we got the best blocking fullback and best blocking tight end. Joyner was in Kylie Joyner in the league. Those are great pickups. But Mike McDaniels or Tyler Biadasz, those are 2 of the best pickups that we got this offseason. As I talked about this, other than quarterback, center is probably the most important position in the offense. The center is the brain of the offense. It is so important. And Justin Herbert, when he had his best season, when he had Corey Linsley. Unfortunately, Corey Linsley had to retire due to heart problems. But now we got Tyler Biadasz. This is the year. There is not going to say it's a reason because it's not going to happen, but we are going to go in. We are going to go all the way. I can just see it. Center is a vital position in outside zone systems. The guard position is questionable, but McDaniel has shown he can scheme around it in Miami, and he saw Kyle Shanahan do it for years, and McDaniel was a 49ers assistant. The guard will be fine. Charger fans over here crying about guard this, guard that. Just shut up. You don't know football. You don't understand. No team has ever in the life of football been one player away of going deep into the playoffs and winning the Super Bowl. No team has ever done it. No team. You're never just one player away. I don't even care if it's the quarterback. You're never one player away. I just don't agree with that. Herbert has scrambled more than he has ever has in his career in the past few seasons. His ability to create has kept the Chargers offense afloat. Since 2024, Herbert ranks sixth in the league in scramble rate, 6.5%. With McDaniel, Herbert will cut down his average time to throw. He's already been adjusting his footwork to get rid of the ball quicker. Herbert played in an offense as a rookie that emphasized the quick game, but McDaniel's scheme will create space for yards after catch. However, that right there, that right there is going to revolutionize this entire offense, and then it's going to put Herbert on another scale. Because if you can scheme up some stuff that can open up, that can give wide receivers more yards after a catch, offense is unstoppable. And then with all that speed we have, dude, this can probably end up going down as one of the greatest offenses of all time. If we really push it to its potential, with Justin Herbert being the focal point, the what do you call it? It's a term. It's a term for quarterback. Field general. Yes, with the quarterback being the field general. This can go down. Well, it's definitely go down as the best offenses in the league. I don't know if it'll go down as one of the best offenses in NFL history. That's probably pushed. That's probably a huge reach. But what I'm basically trying to say is that it's going to be a very dangerous offense. I'll just leave it at that. So there will be a give and take. You don't want to nurture a quarterback with the physical ability of Herbert. So expect McDaniel to throw downfield much more than he did in Miami. That's going to happen. It's going to happen. So the Chargers addressed McDaniel's wish list signing his fullback in Miami, Alec Ingold. We talked about this. And blocking tight end Charlie Kohler, the best blocking tight end probably in the league. And about tight end tight end Arondé Gatson, the second, displayed explosive ability as receiver as a rookie. And don't be surprised if Kohler is a starter while Gatson rotates in on passing situations or multiple tight end sets. And then we also signed David Njoku, and he can line up in 3 tight end sets, which is the latest offensive trend. 3 tight ends, he really can. That's going to be scary. The Chargers offense has versatile chess pieces and a mad scientist play caller, pushing the buttons in a freak of nature at quarterback. Health, which has been an issue for us, is the only obstacle that can stand in the way of being a top 5 offense. You got the Saints. Think about the Saints. The Saints, they have quietly put together a strong offense through the draft, and they drafted both their young, talented tackles, left tackle Kelvin Banks Jr., and this year in right tackle Talisa Fuaga. In 2024, Chris Olave has emerged as a star wide receiver. And most importantly, Tyler Shough, who's been very surprising. And Tyler Shough, who they drafted in the second round last season, looks like he can develop into an above average starter. Exactly. Yeah, Tyler Shough, he's been very surprising. He's good. He's good. He's really good. We talked about Bo Nix. He's better than Bo Nix. And he's also better than CJ Stroud. This is how a quarterback is supposed to be. We don't need to make excuses of why this quarterback has not lived up to has not played good in regular season games. Tyler Shough is better than Bo Nix, and he's better than CJ Stroud. Bo Nix is not accurate. He can't pinpoint throws, and CJ Stroud had just been garbage all the way through. So I'm going to tell you right now, Tyler Shough is better than Bo Nix and CJ Stroud. Period. In the story. So they don't have a running back, but the Saints doesn't have a running back, but a star at running back, but the combination of Travis Etienne and Alvin Kamara could be okay. And then you got free agent signing David Edwards. He's the best guard available. And the Saints offensive line has a chance to be very strong. They ranked 28th in rushing season success last season, but we don't expect the running game to be that explosive, but the Saints should be more efficient on the ground, which should help solve their red zone issues. The Saints that's nothing to look into. The Saints had the worst red zone touchdown percentage in the league last year, so we got to look into that. The Saints, they ranked 29th in pass block win rate in 2025 with a season of development for Banks and Edwards playing inside of him. The offensive line should do a better job of keeping Shough clean, which is vital. According to Pro Football Focus, Shough ranked 41st among qualifying quarterbacks in pressure to sack rate, and his efficiency drops significantly when he feels pressure. If the Saints can protect Shough, he has a chance to produce like a tier 2 quarterback. This will be a second season in Kellen Moore's system, and he'll have weapons in Olave and first-round pick Jordan Tyson. Jordan Tyson is going to be they drafted Jordan Tyson. That's awesome. Tyson has wide receiver 1 ability, but he must stay healthy. he had limited participation in OTAs because of a hamstring injury he suffered last season. But the Saints' talent is mostly good. I mean, you talk about Chris Olave and Jordan Tyson. That is sneaky good. The Saints' talent, so they have the potential to be at least good at multiple spots with no major weaknesses. If the offensive line lives up to its potential, New Orleans has a chance to make a big jump. They certainly do. And that's all I got, man, right now. But my file's reading something. That's all I got right now, man. I think we got like 9 more weeks, 9 more Sundays until NFL season. So y'all already know. If you want the news, if you want insights, if you want great judgment, if you want unbiased predictions, unbiased takes, just real serious, authentic, genuine takes. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to shoot you wrong. I don't have any kind of sponsor or any of that. I just love talking about football. I love football. And soon I'm going and soon I'm going to start talking more about college and boxing. Because I do like boxing. I never really watch boxing. I just like box. I just like to box, like martial arts and stuff. But I do want to start watching boxing, and so I want to start talking about that more on this platform, boxing. So after football, I will start. I think that will be the next sport that I will integrate into this channel, because boxing is a competitive sport. It's a great sport. It needs. I think it deserves more coverage. I mean, you got people who rave about basketball, but I don't know where the NBA is going to go. And I would much rather have the next sport that I talk about on this platform, boxing. So I will start watching more box. I will start watching boxing and probably start watching MMA, UFC. I don't know yet, but I definitely will start watching boxing. So y'all be aware of that. Me talking about that on this channel. And I'm trying to decide if I watch wrestling, but I watch wrestling. I know wrestling is fake. It's not competitive, but it's entertaining. It's entertaining, and it's a kind of sport. It's a type of sport. It's a type of competition. So I may talk about wrestling on this platform. I tried talking about it many times before, but I just kind of shied away from it because I'm still trying to decide if that's something that I really want to bring on this platform. But right now, definitely football is the main thing on this platform. Football, college, and then boxing for sure. Boxing for sure. And then you talk about Zula boxing and everything. And a guy came across Shakur Stevenson. He looks like he's a really great boxer. So he's somebody who I would like to cover and talk about, and just talk about boxing in general. So we'll get on that. We're gonna get on that pretty soon. I'll start looking up at that stuff, doing some research on that and talking about that. But yeah, that's all I got right now, man. I thank you all so much for joining. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and please, if you have any ideas, any thoughts, anything you want me to talk about, please don't hesitate to comment, to write me, any of that. You can check me out. You can follow me on you can follow my other YouTube platform, Dante Taviantz, DanteTaviantz. You can find that on me on Instagram, all social media platforms, and you can subscribe to my Substack newsletter. And you can subscribe to the all day newsletter. I'm not really writing on that yet, but I will. I have stopped writing on there, but I'm going to go back to writing, going more into depth of my letters, more into depth of what I'm talking about. If you guys want to read, if you're a football really obsessed football fanatics, I will give you some real in-depth information on there that I don't cover on the video. So that's all I got. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll be back tomorrow. Deuces.